and welcome to the Irish Arsenal GOONER podcast. It's Tuesday, the 1st of March. I'm your host, as always, Jonathan Giles. On this week's show, I'm joined by my regular and seasoned guests at this stage. John Meany, welcome back after a 2 week sabbatical. I see you grew a bit of facial hair. Eamonn Donnelly, so frustrating.
David Jonathan, David Martin,
and of course, we don't have Ralph Hasenhutl this week. It's Alex Manninger, aka Martin Stone. How are you, Martin?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we all? Okay.
I have to say, you look great, Alex, since that hair transplant.
Yeah.
On this week's show, as always, we begin with Thursday's match review, our 2-1 home victory against Wolves. We'll be previewing our upcoming game this Sunday against Watford away, and at the end of the show, we'll be doing our February goal of the month and player of the month, and of course, anything Arsenal related as well at the end of the show. So, over the next half an hour or so, I hope you enjoyed the show. Before we move on, you can catch our show as always on Spotify, SoundCloud, and on the Dublin Arsenal Supporters Club YouTube channel. I think Martin told me just before we came on air here, 500 subscribers. Is it, Martin? Yeah.
Yeah. We just broke the 500 subscribers, which is great.
Yeah.
So we kind of keep this going, and I'd say like if once we get 1,000, we're gonna give away like an away jersey maybe or something like that. We're gonna give some raffle best comments, but once we get the 1,000 follow-up thing. But yeah, look, thanks for everybody who is subscribing and listening to us.
I'm bloke with short-term memory loss.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know who the 1,000th listener will be, and we'll see can we get that listener the away jersey. We'll find as Martin said, a prize there, and you see who if the 1,000 listener could stick their name under the comment on it, maybe something interesting. I hope we make it that far. We're heading to a year now. Myself and John, of course, started off with Brendan, so it's a year and 2 weeks' time the show has been going. So thanks very much to John taking part every week. I have to say I've held the show up myself, but of course the guest is a small part to play. So we begin with Thursday's 2-1 home victory, of course, against Wolves. Goals by Pepe, and of course the 95th minute late winner by Lacazette sealed the 2-1 victory. Wang scored in the 10th minute. The main match points from that was, of course, when Wang pounced on Gabriel's forward back pass to Ramsdale. He was left in no man's land to slot home. Gabriel should have really put the ball out of play, in my opinion, but it was probably the best of the first half, really, in terms of chances. Wang had a chance then in the second half, but Ramsdale managed to make a good save between his legs, and the shot went narrowly wide. And really, as we were talking to Eamonn on Thursday night, and Ketia, when he came on, really did change the game in our favour. And Ketia's link-up play for the equaliser was well finished by Pepe. I have to say he done really well when he came on as well. So it was 2 inspired substitutions by Arteta, and then of course in the 95th minute, Lacazette finished off a beautiful 1-2 with Pepe to win the match in injury time. I thought he had a really good game as well, linking the ball up and holding the ball as well. I thought it was a really important home win. We did say, I think last Tuesday, that we all went for either 2-0 or 2-1, so we weren't far off. But it's just the way the crowd reaction when Lacazette scored was like the good old times, and the fans are really behind the lads now for their home run in. I don't want to go to John since you're back after the 2 week break. John, what did you make of the match last Thursday?
I thought it was a terrific result. Not without hiccups, but as the game wore on, we just piled the pressure on, and eventually the goals came. Fair play to Wolves, considering we only played them a couple of weeks back. I think they learned their lesson, and they pressed really hard the first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The goal from the mistake from Gabriel, I know you say it's easy in hindsight to say you should have kicked it out, But when you play out of the back the way we do, there's always a chance of a mistake. The pass was under hit. Ben White was caught a little bit flat-footed. Maybe so was Ramsdale. You got to give the Wolves player, the Chinese lad, a lot of credit. He was aware to the danger. He reacted brilliantly, and he put it away well. You got to give him some credit because Wolves really did start well. It took us the guts of 20-25 minutes to deal with their pressing, and when we did, we started to create chances. While we were lacking was like the final ball was maybe just a little bit late, or the likes of Lacazette maybe just couldn't control the ball with his first touch. But there was an awful lot of last-ditch defending, good last-ditch defending from Wolves. But you can only do that for so long. So when I got to half-time, I wasn't overly concerned because we were pushing them back and keeping them penned in. Now, when saying that, the start of the second half, young Chinese lad again, probably should have put them 2-0 up. Great chance. Went through Ramsdale's leg and just missed the post. But I thought the second half, we just wore them down. I thought Lacazette, Partey, and in particular Odegaard. Odegaard was just non-stop. I was reading the stats afterwards. He ran 12 kilometres during the game. Always looking for the ball, always looking to support the player with the ball. And we just piled the pressure on. And the goals when they came, I know the substitutes had a big, big part of it. I know Eamonn talked about the very first game only a couple of weeks ago about pulling Cody out of position. And that's exactly what Eddie did. He just pulled him out of his comfort zone. And the pace he had, and we've been talking for ages about Pepe, and he is a talent. We haven't been able to get the best out of him. He is really dangerous in the box. He comes alive in the box. And between the two of them, they just changed the game. They gave them something else to think about, and they couldn't handle it. I know they got the winning goal for Lacazette. Hasn't been given to him, but I was delighted he got it. He got an awful lot.
Yeah.
He is not. He's by no means the striker that we're going to need to go forward, but he is, considering his last season with us, it's the last year of his contract. We've seen it before. Players going through the motions. They know they're leaving. This guy has born into this team. He's leading from the front. He's giving everything out there. Even when he's playing poorly, he is giving everything out there. And I was delighted that he got that goal. A really, really important win. I mean, for being behind for so long, to get equaliser so late, and then to continue going. So, I mean, we were absolutely horrendous at time wasting. I'm on you. Absolutely horrendous. Wolves were even worse at the Emirates. Some of that time wasted was ridiculous. And it bit them in the ass because it was in the 6th minute of injury time when we got the winner. And that's just pure poetic justice. So, a fantastic result. Really, really impressed with, as I said, the three lads in midfield, Lacazette, Partey, and in particular Odegaard. I mean, Martinelli didn't have his best game, but he was non-stop. Saka,
Yeah.
really difficult. I mean, every time he plays, I mean, he switched to the left-hand side, and he was just as good as he is on the right. The guy's a superstar already.
Yeah.
So there's an awful lot to be, look forward to. We were caught in the break once or twice, and probably a little bit lucky that we didn't say the second. But really impressive to come from behind against a really good Wolves team. They don't concede a lot of goals, so that's a really good win. So congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, especially after playing them on 2 weeks before that, of course, in the tent, and to get back-to-back wins against them from two very tough games has shown how far we've come as a team. Yeah. Eamonn, what do you make of Torcy's victory?
I watched it on my laptop there, watching the little people. I never really got to the pitch of it. No, to be honest with you, we were disjointed. We struggled. We didn't knit it together. We coughed up chances. That was the first hour of that game. And that, indeed, was so frustrating, Deirdre. But John said Martin Odegaard ran 12 kilometres. I think I drank 12 kilometres with the tension of the game. You know, you get a yard of beer. I think I had a kilometre of beer. Anyway, I'll tell you what, folks, Arteta deserves great credit for this, right? Because there were certain constituencies
Yeah,
Right?
blame Martin and that, certainly.
Well, hear me out now, right? And I'm saying to you, he has filleted that squad, changed the age profile, and you referenced Gabriel maybe putting it out in the touch. See, we don't do that because what he tries to do is he encourages his players to be brave. And we're going to cough up one or two because if you start putting it out on the touch, woof, you'll do that when you're in the center of the pitch, woof. And that's not what we do. We try and be brave on the ball, and you can see it coming together. And I'm telling you, we got our way back into that game through sheer will, absolute sheer will. Have you noticed how many shots we're having? We're battering balls in all over the place. This aimless crossing into nothing is gone.
Yeah.
If we get a sniff on the edge of the box, it's like pinball in there, right? Brentford, well, we 24 efforts or something like that. And even though we weren't really hurting them, you just felt that the pressure was turning the tide our way. And you knew we were going to, look, John, I've sat in many games with you and you just know we're not going to equalise. This game, I knew we were going to equalise. Okay, the win was a bonus, right, the way it came about, but I knew we were going to equalise. A word for Lacazette. He was terrible. Absolutely shocking. His touch was terrible. His passing was terrible. And yet he finds himself racing back to his own goal line with 5 minutes left in the game to dispossess somebody. He's carrying the ball. He was a hero to me in that game because when you're playing terrible and your touch is off, the easiest thing to do is your body project the body language that's going to get you substituted, right? Or just hide. I certainly know what a certain striker who's playing for Barcelona now would have done in the heat of that battle if he wasn't playing well. He'd have been invisible, right? And Lacazette deserves great credit. The ball just wasn't running for him, but yet the effort and sheer iron will that he put in. I also want to mention the middle two again. And I noticed the middle two, Xhaka and Partey, gave each other an almighty embrace at the end. They have a synergy that's very important to us, and they got us back in the game as well. And all of a sudden, the squad looks strong again. You know, we've got options. The substitutions were really, really brave. John said Nketiah totally moved Cody off his comfort zone. Pepe, as you say, comes alive in the box. But what really impressed me most about Pepe was that calmness in the 96th minute to just slide that pass through for Lacazette when he could have just been, here, I'll have a whack at it, you know. I also want to bring an incident, nobody saw it, Ben White in the first half, where he played a bad pass. He was caught flat-footed on the halfway line, right? And I'm not sure, it wasn't Jimenez, it was a Podence or one of these guys went to run past him. And if the ball had been played through, we were wide open. What does Ben White do? He sticks his leg out and trips him up off the ball, right? They're the type of things that Man City do to everybody, that we complain about that we haven't got the nous to do it. We're now doing it to other teams, right? And I'm not saying it was a heroic action. Well, it was actually because he stopped a certain goal and didn't get caught, and I'm up for that, right? So you know, if you look at the Ramcam, I don't know whether anybody's saying the on Arsenal.com, the Aaron Ramsdale feature. He's nearly as mad as Jordan Pickford, but you know, he's really bought into. I think he's bought into what we're doing.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I'll say is this. Over 2 games now, and you were eulogizing about Wolves and their manager there, Jonathan.
It was not.
You were.
I'd like to go back
No,
to
because
that.
I record days and I listen to them in bed every night. Right?
Oh, so you have a heart. I like to forget about it.
And I take furious notes. I'll have to tell you, my friend. No, but listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
In all seriousness, Jonathan.
Yeah.
We've seen off Wolves now.
Yeah.
We broke the back.
Wins. Yeah.
We broke the back of them. Our next target, and this is what you have to do. Now, we're talking about Champions League football. Forget about that. Keep going. But our next target now is, let's see off West Ham. burn them off.
Yeah.
If we burn West Ham off, we're in Europe.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what way the dice shakes. So, all in all, a really important result. Blood pressure not great. But look, John's analysis is bang on. Odegaard again,
Super, yeah.
everything good that we did when we were struggling, he was in the middle of it, wasn't he, John? Everything when we were struggling in that game, everything good that we did, he was right in the middle of it. You know,
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention if any if any Wolves fans were listening to John earlier, Wang isn't Chinese; he's actually South Korean. So apologies. If
this is why he's not North Korean, because
yeah, really be getting pissed
there
off.
might have been a different type of offence taken. You know.
So Wang, we dislike you as a player after scoring, but thank God we came through in the end. Martin, what did you make of the performance on Thursday?
Yeah, obviously it's a big game, innit? And yeah, we got 12 points really, innit? So it was 2 6-pointers in 2 weeks. So I think as Eamonn just said, like we broke Wolves away. So that really is going to help us. And yeah, I mean, look, Ramsdale, you know, that's why I'm wearing the jersey, not for Manning, because like he's half the man of what Ramsdale is. But anyway, yeah, he, like as you said, I love that man more and more and more. Like, you know, it's just unbelievable. Even when he got the goal, wasn't his fault actually, because it's like, you know, it was actually passed to White, you know, and he just, you know, he tried to save it or somehow, but he didn't. And look, but when you see the Ramsdale cam afterward, you know, like the way he motivates the players, you know, he's not, you know, screaming at them like, what did you do? Like he just tried to keep it up, you know, and that's exactly what you need from your goalkeeper. You know, the back four, when Tomiyasu is coming back as well, this is going to be a really, really solid back four. And that's what you need. And yeah, look at there's so many. It's I had a post up, you know, this is the no team for you for old men, you know. It isn't like for supporters here as well, because if your heart is bad, like, you know, like you don't want to be watching these games, you know. And like we all knew like the amount of chances we created, you know, and the amount of shots we had, and we knew we are gonna score, but like leave it till 6 minutes to the end. Oh my God. And then the last minute effort, like we've been in the riverbar for that game, and I never seen so many people on a Thursday night there. There was people over from London. And when that goal went in, oh my God, the place erupted. It was absolutely electric. I'd even obviously been out of the 2 years, like where we had a night in the river bar, like, you know, and that was really like absolutely incredible, you know, like, and it was great. And it's just good to see that we can get results like that. And yeah, and look, and I was looking through the WhatsApp group after the match, you know, like, and my God, for 70 minutes we got slaughtered, like, oh, Lacazette out, this and that. And then all of a sudden it changed in the spirit of 2 minutes. The whole team kind of changed. You know, Pepe was a god. Lacazette was the best player on earth. And yeah, like this is kind of like the Arsenal fan thing what we have. Like, you know, if it would have been a different talk if we would have drawn the game or even lost the game, I'd say it would have been a different atmosphere and it would have been a different conversation we probably would have now as well. But we didn't. And that's exactly what changed, I think, because we could have lost these games easily like years ago or months ago even. And we didn't. Look, and yeah, Lacazette, as you say, it's not about his goal scoring, what we keep him for. It's kind of like the work rate he had, you know, and thank God he had something, because like, you know, he wasn't scored for him, but like he was an own goal. But hopefully that's going to give him a bit a motivation as well. And he'll bang in 3 against Watford. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And actually, all the boys came through, like Pepe, Nketiah. You know, like, I mean, Nketiah doesn't have the best name. And I, again, on the WhatsApp group, oh my God, Nketiah is coming on. What is he doing on? Oh my God. And then look, he actually changed the game, you know, and Pepe then with his magic feet and the turn. What a goal. Jeez, we're talking about the Lacazette goal, obviously it was the last one, but that Pepe goal, that was some goal, like, you know, like, I mean,
Martin,
yeah.
How are you supposed to be concentrating on the game, Martin, if you're on the WhatsApp?
No, that's what I'm saying. I watched the WhatsApp after, and that's why, like, I had 370 messages on my WhatsApp group.
I'm just making
and
sure.
And when you go through,
I'm doing a quality assurance exercise for this show to make sure that the experts on the show have full attention during the game.
Full attention. Look, it's bad enough I have to update the Instagram for that every time we score a goal, but look, it was great. But that's what keeps the supporters up, you know, and that's what you want. But look, it was a great game. We won it, as I said, it's a 12-pointer for me. We looked at the games, Wolves away, Brentford at home, Wolves at home. How many points? I would have been happy with 7 points out of the 9. We got the 9. It's a big thing. Other results went for us as well. So look, it's all good, but we're not there yet. We have to concentrate on the next game, Watford on Sunday, and then like as Eamonn said, the next closest to us is West Ham. And then they have some hard games coming up as well. It's not only us have tough games, but we just have to go game by game. And yeah, hopefully we can get people back. You know, Smith Rowe was out. You know, we have the headache now. And somebody was saying, like, you know, we would never have this discussion about Pepe if he would have been 30 million, because he was 72 million. You know, that's why he has a reputational, like, you know, like he had this pressure to go. If you would have bought him for 30 million, that would be something. Who else has a 72 million striker sitting on the bench? Only Man City, probably. Nobody else.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually have the luxury to bring somebody in the 70th minute, you know, like in his 72 million. And look, he was gold worth now. So anything, what it is. But yeah, look, it's great. But we just have to concentrate on Watford now. And hopefully we can get another 3 points, hopefully. And it will be a good game in the riverbar because we're going to be downstairs. It's going to be a Sunday. There's going to be loads of people going to be coming, hopefully, and hope we can do this same thing again, like erupt the place and break loads of glasses.
Here to more 95th minute winners. I do agree with Eamonn there, what he said earlier on. I think the defeat on Thursday probably killed off Wolves' challenge of 4th place, whatever chance they did have. But I think the 1-0 defeat against West Ham on Sunday probably all but extinguished, you know, pretty much finished them off. So I think it is only West Ham and obviously United to worry about. But I think out of all the teams chasing for that forward, I think we're probably better. I probably fancy ourselves, you know, with the games in hand as well over the others as well, which is a big one. I got your man of the matches quickly, lads. Let's start with John. Who stood out for you in that match?
Odegaard.
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard of everything, yeah.
Yeah.
The real leader of the team is.
Yeah, very influential as well, yeah. Eamonn, who stood out for you?
I'm going to give it to Lacazette because of what he did and gave when things weren't going well for him. And that, to me, showed real character. It's, you know, when things are going well, Odegaard was brilliant, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
Agree with Sean. Like, in terms of who gave the most artistic contribution to the game was Odegaard, but by a mile. Sorry, we're in kilometers in Europe, probably. By 1.6 kilometers, right? But I'm going to single out Lacazette because I was giving out about him all evening, and when I saw what he gave for the last 15 or 20 minutes, I just said, you know what? Hats off, that's phenomenal, and I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah, it's the way he celebrated at the end as well. You know, you can see he wants to be a team
I don't
player.
agree with that. I think they should shake hands with each other, go back to the halfway line, and kick the ball off.
I mean, at the final whistle.
Arsenal are on the attack. Melia scores. It's a goal.
Yeah, the clappers. Yeah. Mark, who stood out for you as your man of the match?
Yeah, like, again, like, you know, Odegaard obviously did all the work, you know, like, and he just really played, you know, a stormer. Like, I mean, even in the goals, like, you know, like, even he wasn't directly passing the ball to, but like the second goal, you know, what a pass to Pepe, Lacazette, and then goal, you know, it's just, it just makes it. And as I said, we hopefully found now a replacement for Cazorla, you know, like in some ways and form. We didn't have that for years, so look, he's playing well, and yeah, but Lacazette for his ethic, you know, like what he did, like, and the celebrations. Look at the man didn't score for I don't know how many times now, like, you know, like, and he has so many chances, you know, he must frustrating is the real word, like, you know, it's not even clear. It was like
it's really rubbing off this saying.
It is just kind of that's what it is, like,
knock
you know?
it off, Paolo.
But yeah, like it's a toss-up between the two of them, you know, like, you know, from the word ethic, definitely Lacazette, from the way he played the game, Odegaard, you know, like and I hope he can bring his good old mate Haaland to the Emirates, you know, so
it'd be
that
great,
might be something.
Yeah, too right, yeah.
Well, I have to say to you, there was one bit that I loved, and I know he got a lot of stick for not being, you know, a good enough striker for us, but the way Nketiah got turned in the lead up to Saka bringing out the save that led to the winner was unbelievable. The ball was coming out of the sky and he got turned. It was brilliant, like, you know. And I was just, it was, do you know what? I watched the highlights back about 14 times.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
It was the way we came back at them, but I haven't seen a crowd eruption since when Lacazette scored that winner, like the Arshavin goal against Barcelona all them years ago when we won 2-1 at home. The place was.
I was behind the goal when Danny Welbeck scored against Leicester.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, that was some goal as well.
Yeah.
I was behind the goal when Danny Welbeck scored against Leicester to put us 2 points behind them.
Yeah.
Right, and the noise, and then 3 days later, compare and contrast, I was with John Melia as we picked it up to Swansea, and we were, I think, John, we were in the one in Parnell Street, the Woolshed.
Yeah,
and I actually made the bold pronouncement that night. I'm done with the Arsenal after that emotional roller coaster, you know. So fully expect Watford to put power passes. Yeah,
we were the only team that season when Leicester won to actually beat them home and away. No, because no other team, we hammered them 5-2. I think at Phil. And Welbeck's header. I really thought that was the turning point in the campaign where we'd go on to win.
We should have won.
Yeah, we should have won it. You know, it still amazed me how Leicester. And you know, I do think teams did stand down to let Leicester win. You know, I do. Yeah, big time. I do believe that because Leicester weren't any great shape.
When I heard Jonathan Walters on one of the radio shows one time,
he says, "I'm glad."
Very honest player who's saying, "I hope they go on and win it now," and he's playing for Stoke. Yes, what does that tell you? You know,
the dirtiest team in the league, and they so down. They got
here, get me belly tickled. They're going off for to get me ears permed. You know.
Yeah, look, I suppose that's hard to believe that's 6 years ago, but let's hope we're back on the right road for the challenge for the title over the next few seasons. Fingers crossed. Our March fixtures list looks like this before we move on to the Watford preview. We play Watford on Sunday, the 6th, followed the next Sunday by Leicester at home, which is a 4:30 kickoff. We've Liverpool the midweek, the day before Paddy's Day. That's a quarter past 8.
Return to riverbar, Liverpool on the 16th of March.
That's a big one. And I feel very confident going into that game. Now, I'm saying this before we play Watford and Leicester. Come back to me at that night as a preview and it'll probably be changed. And Aston Villa away then that Saturday before the international friendly break. So, look, I'd fancy out them 3 of the 4 games. I'd fancy 9 points out of 12. That's how optimistic I've got since that late equalised. We're going to move quickly on to the preview. I'd added that out actually with the optimism there. We won 1-0 against them at home, Mealsmith Road, on the 6th of November last year. It was a really, I don't know how it wasn't more. We absolutely battered them.
Three VAR decisions, that's what.
Yeah, and Randy Early had the cheek to complain about us not giving the ball back. I think Danny Rose actually, he was so overweight in that game. He was, I don't know how he didn't have a heart attack. He was absolutely muck.
It's like George Foreman.
Yeah, I remember. I think you said that actually on the review. How we didn't. I have to say it was a great goal by Smith Rowe that day, right in the bottom corner. Ben Foster's kept them in so many games, though, this season. His performances have been something unreal for his age, you know. Their last match was a 0-0 at Old Trafford. United battered them as well. They had 20-odd attempts, and they managed to get a draw. That's Hodgson free, though. He sets his team up to grind out. If they're not going to win, they'll definitely get a draw against you. Our last Premier League game at Vicarage Road was 2-2 back in September 2019. Aubameyang had put us 2-0 up, and cleverly in Pereira got 2 goals back for them. I don't. We let that game slip as well. But that's in the past. I go to John. How do you see that game going on Sunday, John, away from home?
Well, I watched the 0-0 draw Watford had away at Old Trafford, and you'd imagine a 0-0 draw away at Old Trafford. That's a really good performance from Watford.
Yeah,
should have won that game 6 or 7. They had a ton of chances. That finishing was absolutely abysmal. I have to be honest.
Abysmal, yeah.
This had nothing to do with good organisation or good coaching or.
They were so bad on the day, yeah.
Just how the hell they didn't win that game. They're a far side. They're a quite tall side because they could cause problems on the break or from set pieces. But from what I've seen in that game, I wouldn't be overly concerned if the players go out with the right attitude. You start the game with the right attitude. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't win it. Now, how many times have we said that before?
Yeah.
So, as I said, what I've seen of Watford this season, we should be too strong. We really should be too strong. But we need to start the game with the right attitude.
Eamonn, how do you see it going?
I was saying, Jonathan, that the squad was looking strong, so I presumed there's been an outbreak of brucellosis or something like that. But well, look, first of all, the United and Watford game was weird because I was watching it too, and I have a policy. I watch Man United until they go 1-0 up and then I switch off, right? And I happened to be out in the car getting some shopping for the second half, and the commentators were saying on the radio that as the more the game wore on, the more Watford looked likely on the break, you know?
Yeah,
That probably says it. And so I think the way Roy. Oh, by the way, I have great time for Roy Hodgson. He is a consummate football guy. He really is. His coaching pedigree is second. I mean, this man is in his 70s. His coaching pedigree is really, really top notch. Not like some of these spoofers. But you know, he kind of looks like something out of Slade, like an extra from Slade. He still has that 1970s head in him. But you know what? We've struggled with Hodgson's teams in the past, John and Mark. You know, because he kind of, I just think it's a different Arsenal he's going to face this time, you know. But do you remember, there was a particular game, I think it was last season, at home to Palace when we drew 0-0.
That was it, yeah.
And really, Palace had the better of it. And then Palace done us with Zaha on the break the season before that as well. You know, so I think Roy is a really, really good football guy. My only concern would be that they'd get a bit of a fillip from the result last weekend. But John is right. I've always said since I came onto this show, the teams that you think you're as good as and better than, you have to go and beat. And we are better than them. Home or away, if your attitude is right, you're going to win the game.
Yeah, you can only
unless Mike Dean is referee.
You can only see it. Well, you can really only see it in a way victory, but it all depends on it's all on the day, really, isn't it? Martin, how do you see it going on Sunday?
Yeah, exactly what the two guys just said now. Like it's one of these games, and you know exactly that you should beat them, and there's no team really where we can't beat on a day. But they are the teams we have to beat, you know, like we're talking about games in hand, you know, like against Spurs, against Chelsea. They're not the games we should be worrying about. These are the games, like the Watford game, the Villa game, the Leicester game. Yeah. These are the games they're gonna win us the fourth, hopefully, or get us in the top four. And yeah, look at I watched the Man United game as well. How they went up 3-0 after 20 minutes, God knows. And if that would have been slaughtered. And look at it, that's football. That's the Premier League. That's why the Premier League is so interesting. You could play against the last team in the group, and there is, you know, it could be a tough game. And look at Wolves. What did we say? We don't concede early to Wolves. What did we do? Concede early to Wolves. Like we got an early goal. Like, you know, we still came back. Thank God. But yeah, like games change on this kind of stuff. Like we never know what's going to happen with the referees. Do we get a red card? Do we not get a red card? Things can change so quickly. But on the paper, and I think the way we play at the moment, we have the better team. Hodgson is obviously like an old fox. Like, you know, he will definitely, you know, get something against us. But I think we have the manpower and the play power now that we can actually go there. And I'm actually quite confident for it, which might not be a good thing. But I think like a 2-0 or 3-0, a clean sheet would be great again for Ramsdale as well. But look, they don't score much. I think they scored 27 goals so far. They only kept 3 clean sheets. So we definitely have the thing. Like we just need somebody to put the ball in the goal. You know, we have loads of 26 shots on goal thing last time, 24 against Brentford. So we're making the chances, and the more chances you create, the more lucky you get, hopefully. So
yeah, I think
that's
as well.
what we need. We just need to put goal. That's it.
I think with the 10-day rest from which, come Sunday, be 10 days since we played Wolves, the rest will have done us good. I think we go out there refreshed, so all go well. The lads will just head down and go for the, if you don't go for a victory, you're in trouble. I can see it's like with United playing City later on that day. I can see City beating United. That's going to put us a victory there, and I think that could put us right back in fourth. We lie 6 at the moment. 24 played, 45 points, and as it stands, 2 points off forward.
Yeah, you see, it's hard. Yeah. It's not like having. Do you remember the league ladders out of the shoot? We're in fourth this week, fifth. Yeah, I tend to discount positions until it's all about. I've said this many times. Trying to get 2 points per game.
Yeah,
you finish up at 76 points. You are going into European football at the top level, So I think what 45 from 24. We're not far off that target,
Yeah, and it's quite a recovery from what we saw way back in August, to be straight in there fighting come March,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you give them a 9-point head start, that's what we did.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
So imagine, but again, you can see anything what happens. I mean, look at Man City against Villa. It's just was it Villa or Everton? Everton.
By the way, folks, have you noticed we're 5 points behind Chelsea with a game in hand?
Yeah.
To play them,
And I don't like the look. Well,
Chelsea are wobbling, aren't they?
I'm loving the look of them at the moment because they're beginning. I watched them on Sunday. In a great 0-0 draw, by the way. It was great to watch. It was a great watch. I was kind of hoping for an earthquake in the middle of the pitch, no fatalities. But the Chelsea they just don't look like the machine that they looked earlier on in the season.
They look tired, don't they? They just don't look fine. And they do. They're missing. They're
still going to be a tough one to crack. I mean, they can't. As you said, I thought it was a really good.
But John, the Champions League as well, and they're going to give that a run. I'm just saying, that I wouldn't.
No, and that's exactly what. I think that's exactly what's going to help us, we really play, beside obviously Liverpool now, that's going to be some mad week. We're probably going to go in on Wednesday to the riverbar and come out on the Sunday.
The long weekend.
Just come back to me a second. The point I'm making about Chelsea, John, is that if you eliminate the first 3 games of the season, right, they're considered to be streets ahead of us. But we've actually 5 more points than they have.
Yeah.
In 21 games, we've actually got 4. We've earned 5 more points than Chelsea have in the 21 games if you write off the first 3 of the season. I'm just saying.
And they do play they all play like Champions League or European football or something like that, and they will come back to we have players rested, we are fit enough to do that. So it's going to be. But as I said, I'm not going to counting because anything can happen. City were lucky that they didn't get a penalty in the last minute,
Hopefully, Elneny stays rested.
And the further Chelsea go in that Champions League, lads, it's going to look like we're going to be playing them probably it's probably April, maybe even early May. That's they might have one eye in Europe, and you never know. They might rest 1 or 2 key players, and they might get an injury or two. Because we're pretty much after the Villa game, we're going to play week on week. Aside from those games in hand, so that 7 days rest and being out of all the cup competitions, it has to play some sort of part for us, being fresh week on week. So look, an interesting end for the last 2 months, and come May, it'll be so frustrating. Look, I'm loving the optimism on this show. I feel, I'm feeling the vibe here. So come Sunday, let's hope we get a victory against Watford. So look. That game is on Sky Sports and it's a 2:00 kickoff on Sky Premier League and of course in the Riverbar. So it should be another cracking afternoon football. We move on to goal of the month for February, lads. There was 5 in it, as we only played, I think it was 2 or 3 games. The first one was Gabriel against Wolves away, which proved to be the winner. Goal 2 was Emile Smith-Rowe against Watford. Eamonn was at this game, a cracking goal. So too was Bukayo Saka. Really put his foot through it. Cracking goal as well. Nicolas Pepe against Wolves, of course, was a nice one. And of course, Lacazette for the late winner, which the Emirates just erupted. It was the atmosphere after that. Would have loved to be there. It was one of those nights you'd love to be at the Emirates. Out of them 5, John, what was your goal of the month?
I'll go with Pepe. Just delighted to see him back on the pitch and scoring. So I'll go with Pepe. Really good goal as well.
Yeah,
sharp.
Top performance, wasn't it, for him coming on as a sub as well? Yeah.
I'd like a cameo, and I hope we see more of him. I really do.
And getting goals into his game for till the season's end. Yeah. Eamonn, your goal of the month for February.
I'm going to go with the Croydon De Bruyne. I'm going with Emile Smith-Rowe on the basis that he picked up the ball in what looked like a harmless position, and 3 seconds later it was in the back of the net, and he just made it look easy. Simple as, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't look. I mean, I was at that game. I'm looking straight down the pitch. When he picked up the ball, you can see a wall of defenders. You can see him with the ball. A quick shift to the right, another little shift to the hips, and just pass it into the goal. You know, absolute quality. You know? And
I think for it to come after 40, it was the 3rd minute into the second half, it completely changed the complexion of that game.
You know, used to do that though, literally. A different type of player. But Mark Overmars had a great kind of ability to pick up the ball in that position. You think there's no danger on here.
Yeah,
he's inside and the ball's in the bottom corner.
Yes. What I like about Smith-Rowe is it's the minute he gets the ball, he looks forward. It's not look back or it's head down, right, and attack. That's what, and he puts fear in defenders. Yeah, he's a gem. He is. He's going to be worth his weight in gold, lads, in the years to come. Martin, your goal of the month for February?
Yeah, obviously, like what Eamonn said on John, obviously Pepe, the goal was so important. Not only was it an unbelievable goal, but it was so important. Smith-Rowe, that was things. But what I like about Saka, and that's kind of what you said before, he can play left, he can play right, and that second goal from Saka, the power he just balled that thing into the thing was amazing, and he nearly did it against Wolves as well. It was just palmed away from the goalkeeper. It was exactly the same thing so I like Saka's goal, but if we could actually put the women in as well, like McCabe's goal yesterday, there was some rocket.
Cracking goal, wasn't it?
What a goal! I actually think we should bring her and him party together and show him how to actually score from outside the box, because what he does at the moment, how actually he played, that was some ball. Look, I give it to Saka for the man, but for my goal of the month, and it's going to be in the Arsenal page probably as well, it's going to be McCabe's goal. So that is some ball,
Well, absolutely. Offer a weak foot, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, you see Thomas Partey, you just mentioned him there, he's really playing well.
He's had a good February,
It almost seems as if anytime he goes to shoot, there's a momentary lapse in gravity.
Yeah,
he thinks about it too much, doesn't he?
Earth's gravitational pull just stops.
I think the Spanish air is just kind of like more on the ball pressure or something. I don't know, you just because he scored the goals like that in Atletico on a regular basis, and I think he needs just one goal from outside, and that's just going to open everything.
Anytime he's going to shoot, London City Airport is on alert.
Get me out of here.
No, but look at if he gets hold of the ball and he gets his shooting boots on, he definitely is a thing for. But look, for me, Saka, the power he put the ball into the goal was just amazing. For a young fella, and he can do from left and right.
John Jensen.
Yeah. It was actually his assist for the Saka goal as well. It was beautiful as well. Beautifully waited for Saka. All he had to do was put his foot through, and he did that.
Yeah.
The result was the second goal. Yeah. I'd probably give it to my goal in the month. Probably I'd give it to Lacazette just for the importance of it and for his his grit and determination throughout that last 15-20 minutes. He really did try to score near the end. He got his just reward. So I'll give it to Lacazette for the importance of it.
We had a goal of the month. January we didn't have any.
January, thank God. I was sweating on how to fill that out. I was really hoping we'd have something to talk about. I've left the player of the month open because I don't there's so many players that I always have, it's hard to pick out 5. I don't want to pick out for myself Odegaard for his influence on the games, and in February. I'll go to Martin this time. Who was your standout player of the month for February?
Yeah, definitely like consistency now in the last couple of games. Odegaard, like the amount of the strings he's pulling, like, you know, and this is exactly why we're creating so many chances, because he plays the players through. And that's actually like, if you look at the way we play, like, you know, this short passing, this technical tiki-taka nearly, we're coming back to like some football we played years ago, and you will create chances like that. And Odegaard is the turning point for all this, you know. And yeah, like, so for me, it's the most influential one of them, and yeah, Odegaard is my player of the month.
Eamonn, your February player of the month?
Well, again, I would say Odegaard has been the most constructive player. I didn't mean artistic earlier on. I meant constructive in terms of he's great patience, you know, and he passes the ball sideways when he needs to. All the time, and then when the defense kind of thinks he's going to pass the ball sideways and they stretch, he gets one in between the lines, and that's a sign of a quality player. But for me, I'm developing a cult worship of this guy. Ben White, to me, has epitomised everything right about what's going on at the Arsenal at the moment. Okay, he's not Bobby Moore, but he's good on the ball. He's a nasty little piece of work, and we missed that. And he has the potential to be Martin Keown. And Martin Keown, as John would know, was my favourite of all those defenders. And just because he has little rosy cheeks and looks like he came out of Eton University or something like that,
he's got a bit of grit in him.
This guy is a piece of work.
It's
a piece of work that we needed, and I'm giving him my player of the month.
And he's a bit about him on the ball as well. He can play a bit of ball as well, John, your player of the month for February?
It's hard to disagree with both the lads, but I'm going to go with Partey. Before Christmas, he was asked in an interview to rate himself, how he done, and he said only 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think since the Everton game, he has improved immensely. He's starting to look like the player that we spent big money on. He's getting the best out of Xhaka beside him, and starting to really, really run that midfield for us. So I'm just going to go for Partey because he's starting to look.
It's a bit cool, isn't
it? Yeah. That's 3 great shows, lads. Yeah, it was a good month for February Henry for us. Is there anything else football related you'd like to talk about, lads?
Not really.
Yeah. Just before I wrap up the show, just really, you know, I'm sure I speak for everyone. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Ukrainian people. You know what's happening. Quite shocking what's going on. Just like to give a shout out as well, in particular, Oleg Luzhny, who of course played for us between 1999 and 2003. He made 75 appearances for us, and he was part of the 2002 Dublin winning team. So, just like to send my thoughts, you know, to I have a few friends that worked with that were Ukrainian. So, just like to give that a mention. I'm sure yourself, lads, if you want to say anything there.
Jonathan, can I just say, I watched Everton and Man City on Saturday evening, and I thought what Everton did was just an absolute touch of class. It brought a lump in the throat and a tear to my eye, and I say that in all sincerity. Man City came out in kind of Ukraine tracksuits, which was a nice feature. Seamus Coleman came out with a flag, and that was all grand. But when they played He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, over the tan eye, it just, to me, it just spoke every word that needed to be spoken. You know?
Yeah, they're the People's Club for a reason, aren't they? They are a class act, all right. Yeah, and to see what moved me was Zinchenko and Mikolenko, I think it was, to be reduced to tears. You know, 2 grown men, and it's sad, you know. Like, and it's all we can hope for is, you know, peaceful end to all this madness, you know. But look, I just thought because Oleg Luzhny played for us as well, you know, I thought it was worth to give a shout out. That wraps up our show this week. You can of course catch our episodes on Spotify, SoundCloud, and then YouTube on the Dublin Arsenal Supporters Club page. I'd like to thank John, Eamonn, and Martin as always for your input, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. So thanks for listening, and we see you on the other side.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.